What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here, and we won. I nearly had a heart attack, but we won! But in all seriousness, let's talk about it. It really wasn't that bad of a performance. You really look at the entire game. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see all of overtime. I saw the first goal, and then I saw, the corner kick after it that I think led to the second goal. It cut off right before the second goal, I think. But yeah, I did watch the highlights of overtime, so I did get kind of a glimpse of what was going on. But yeah, overall, you look at the full 90 minutes, it really wasn't that bad of a performance. It's just a few players and a few mistakes, and all of a sudden we're 2-0 down. And that's kind of my problem right now, is that you look at the players that we have in, and overall, it's not a bad lineup. I'm not upset with the lineup. I think it's actually a pretty decent lineup. But there are a few players that I think don't need to be playing. And those few players are Cahill. Obviously, he's one. He just awful the past two games, awful tonight, despite the fact that he got a goal. So what? He pretty much caused the first one. The first one was pretty much his fault. And then the other two, Pedro, I don't think he brings anything on the team. And Begovic, I think he's an awful keeper. And both of those goals, completely on him. And he almost made up with it with he made one good save. I think it was right sometime in the second half. Can't remember. I think Musa was the one charging down the field. It tried to chip him. He did get a little bit of a touch on it that turned it wide. But other than that, the first two goals, you get beat near post over your head because you're going down. No, you should not be getting beat. You should be saving those two. They were very sloppy, very easy goals, and I blame both of them on him. Not completely on him, but both of them he had a hand in. Cahill on the first goal, the ball comes across, and instead of getting a touch on it or doing anything to divert it, he just dodges out of the way. So now it bounces. Spilicueta's not seeing it coming. It bounces off of him, and now it's over to Okazaki, who then heads it over a falling down Begovic, and it's in. And I think on both of the goals, Spilicueta was the one diving, trying to save it, as Cahill's sort of jogging back towards the goal. I'm like, really? You're such a sloppy defender. You're going to be the one jogging back while Spilicueta puts his body on the line. Anyway. But those are just a couple mistakes that lead to two goals. You look at the rest of it, we are putting a ton of pressure on them. Fabregas is on the field, and he is tearing them up. Almost all of his passes are cutting passes that are trying to get in behind the defense. Batshuayi is just making all of these runs that are putting pressure on the defense. At some point they're going to tire out. And at some point there's going to be a breakthrough. And it finally happened right before halftime. That. All of this pressure that we're putting on them, at some point we're going to get a goal. It's just a matter of, are we going to get a goal before they get a goal? And tonight it didn't happen. They got two before we managed to get one. And we got lucky the fact that, they kind of put a bit more high press on us than normal. Most teams, once they got two, would have just packed it in. But we got lucky tonight. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why Pedro is playing. I kind of understand because we don't really have many options, but why him? I feel like give somebody a chance. Give somebody else a chance to prove something. But Pedro's he's not good enough. He lacks the strength to play. He lacks not necessarily the skill. But he just lacks that instinct of where to be, what to do with the ball, on the ball. It's really poor whenever he's out there. There's just a lack of quality that we need, that we have in Hazard and Willian and even Moses at times. Moses, I thought, looked better than Pedro tonight, and I'm glad that Pedro was the one to come off instead of Moses. But anyway, like I said, overall team performance Not a bad performance by any means. It looked good. The quality of the passing looked good. Even some of the defense looked pretty good. It's just those few moments of lapses in concentration from Cahill, from Begovic, and even Pedro had a hand in the second goal with a poor clearance. So all of these little things that just lead to two goals, we need to cut them out of our game because we're pretty much at this point we're pretty much Liverpool. Like that's how they are. They've got a lot of quality up top, but a few mistakes in the back lead to goals, and they just manage to put in more goals than their opponent half the time. I mean, that's how they beat Arsenal 4-3. They put a lot of goals in, but let a lot of goals in themselves. We don't need to be that team. That doesn't need to be us. We need to be the team that puts in several goals and keeps our concentration in the back, make sure we don't have any lapses in concentration. We don't have any lapses in defending. So anyway, that's the overall, I'm okay with the lineup. I enjoy seeing Marcus Alonso in. I enjoy seeing Fabregas in. I enjoy seeing Batshuayi and Moses get a chance. Even Loftus-Cheek, I don't mind seeing him get a chance in a game like this where you've got enough quality around you to where even if you're not really putting a whole lot in, if you're not contributing much, you've still got enough people around you that do have the quality to do it. It gives him a chance to sort of try some stuff to sort of see what he can do. He didn't play poor, but anyway, I'll get to him in a second. Going individually, like I said, Begovic really poor on the two goals. Even some of the near misses that they had, it felt like he wouldn't have gotten there. It feels like I don't know if he's just not good enough or if he's not fast enough. I don't know what it is. He just doesn't look good whenever he plays. And it's kind of disappointing because you want your second string keeper to be able to step in for your first string, and right now it doesn't look like he can. Going across the defense, Azpilicueta I thought had a great game, great goal that he had late on. Defensively looked really fast, really strong. Really had a lot going forward too. A lot of his passes were very well timed. A couple great through balls to Costa that I thought he should have scored late on. Cahill, like I said, very, very poor. David Luiz, I don't know how to feel about him because defensively he's very average. Like few misses, near misses, but he does well to get back and sort of cover for that mistake. Like if he misses a header, he's still putting in a challenge where Cahill is sort of like missing the challenge and then not getting back in time. He at least puts himself back in there. Still not good enough, but it's like you can see the effort is there. But going forward, the balls that he played over the top tonight, some of his through balls were pinpoint, like very accurate. And it makes me excited to see Terry and David Luiz because Cahill that's one thing I didn't talk about with him. He tries to be John Terry so much. He tries that diagonal ball that Terry does all the time. Except Terry hits our player almost all the time. Cahill hits their player almost all the time. It's just every time he tries it, it's a giveaway, and it's very frustrating. It makes me excited to see Terry and Luis in the back, though, because they both do very well with that long diagonal or the long over the top to the striker. So you have two players back there, and Azpilicueta can do it pretty well too. That's three players in your defense that look for that ball and play it very accurately. That makes me kind of excited. And then on top of that, you got Terry who brings organization to the back. I'm excited to see Terry and Luis playing in the back together now. I didn't think I'd be saying that, but since Cahill's been so poor, I want to see that now. I want to see Terry back there organizing with Luis, bringing some of his flair going forward. That might be a good matchup. Marcus Alonso, didn't see a lot out of him tonight. I thought he was good. I didn't think, there's nothing that made me think, oh, he's going to be something special. But compared to Ivanovic, who I thought has not brought anything to the team recently, I thought he did pretty well. I would much rather prefer to see Alonso in than Ivanovic at this point. So that is something. It's nice to see that we do have that option there. Up into the midfield, he almost kind of went with a 4-4-1-1 or 4-4-2 at times. Loftus-Cheek was a bit more drawn back as a striker, but it's nice to see the different changes in tactics that he's trying here and there. But Matic and Fabregas in the middle, I thought they played. Fabregas I thought had a great game, deserved the 2 goals. in overtime. I mean, he worked really hard today. Just really looks sharp on the ball, and it makes me wonder why he's not playing more. What has he done to piss Conte off so much that he's not playing even after performances like this? It makes me wonder if he's going to be starting in the weekend. Matic, I thought, had a better game today than he has been. He's been kind of a spectator for some of the games. He hasn't really brought much defensively or offensively, except for that one assist against Liverpool. He just doesn't bring much to the team anymore as much as he used to. So it was nice to see him sort of get involved a bit more, put in a few more good challenges, and move the ball around a bit better tonight. Pedro, like I said, just doesn't bring much to the team. I feel like you could put most anybody else out there. I said most. Do not put Mikel out there. But you could put most anybody else out there in that position. I feel like they'd bring a bit more than Pedro does, just because he lacks something. He lacks something to make it in the Premier League. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the strength. I don't know if it's the mindset. He works hard, but on the ball, he's very, very poor. And oftentimes selfish and loses it. So, Moses on the other side, I thought, had a good game. Didn't really do as much as Willian. That's kind of what you want to compare him to. You want to say, can he take Willian's spot? Right now, no. But if Willian gets hurt, would he be a good cover? Yes. He's good with the ball, works really hard, got a good bit of speed. So it's nice to see that he is good enough to go into that position and provide something. And then Loftus-Cheek and Batshuayi. Loftus-Cheek, I thought, didn't really do enough to really provide that something special. You want to see him doing something that's just like, yes, I want to see him in more. I didn't really see that tonight. He had a few good moments. One in particular, he was in the corner and had two players on him, used his strength well, and sort of like bullied his way through. I'm just like, that's good. I want to see more of that, but he doesn't bring that enough. I'm not sure if he just doesn't understand the spot well, but you want to see him working off of Batshuayi, them working together if they're going to be kind of a two-striker type thing. And he doesn't do that well. And I think part of that is because he's still learning the position, but it could also be, he's just not good enough to handle it. We'll see, though. Hopefully he gets some more starts here and there against, other teams in the League Cup or the FA Cup. Batshuayi, I thought, looked good. Works hard. I wish he'd get more game time in the Premier League, just because I feel like he'd be a good match with Costa up top. I mean, when they came on together, there were times where it's just like one of them is receiving while the other one's making a run in behind. They work so well together. Why aren't we seeing more of that? I want to see more of that. And I don't know. It's kind of disappointing that we haven't seen enough of that yet. And that's kind of something I was really excited to see, is them working together as a striker pair. So we'll see how that goes. But for now, I suspect Conte is just sort of going to keep it how it is, which it's okay. But you compare Costa's strength and his ability to run through defenders with Batshuayi's hard work and speed. You combine that together, you got a really good pair of strikers to use. Utilize that. We'll see how it goes. As far as subs go, though, Costa comes on, does well. Really challenges Leicester's defense. Really put a lot on them. Ends up, I don't know if it was because he was challenging Wasilewski so much. I don't know what caused it, but it leads to Wasilewski punching him in the face, and getting sent off because of it. That's the type of Costa that you kind of want on the field. The one that's going to aggravate the defenders to the point of they're getting a second yellow because they have to deal with him somehow. That's the type of Costa we want out there, and that's what we got tonight. So that's good to see. Chalobah came on for Batshuayi. It was a strange move at the time, but I kind of understood why. Leicester had kind of gotten a few chances on goal. He was kind of brought on in that Conte position of defensive mid, letting Matic and Fabregas get forward a bit more, but also that adds another defensive mid. So it's almost like a triangle that interchanges, so you can either have Chalobah with Matic and Fabregas, or you can have Chalobah and Matic with Fabregas a bit more forward. But it's nice to see that he's getting time, because he's a player that I want to see more of. even though Conte's probably a better option than him right now, he's a good young player. I think 20, 21, something like that. So I want to see a bit more of him. I want to see him getting game time because from what I saw in preseason, he looked really good. So yeah, I want to see him getting more game time. Didn't really see much from him tonight, but he did put in a few good challenges if I remember. And then finally Hazard comes on with 2 minutes left in regular time or regulation, and not really enough time to do much, but he comes on in overtime. I guess that's when you really change the game. I was thinking though, why not bring him on a bit sooner so you don't have overtime? Bring him on with 7 minutes in regulation instead of 2, so that way he has a bit more time to possibly get the game winner. So now we don't have an extra 30 minutes to play. But he was involved in both goals in overtime, so he does come on, change the game. It is nice to see Hazard back to being Hazard because the past couple games he's been a bit uninvolved compared to how he started the season. So I do want to see him getting back to that level that he started off the season with. Maybe getting just a little bit of time today instead of more. I don't know. I don't know what the thought process is, but it ended up working out in overtime. I just wish we didn't have to do overtime because then I could have seen all the game instead of missing 30 minutes or however long. Anyway. But yeah, I mean, overall, there's not much else I can say other than good overall game, a few poor mistakes that lead to goals. And if we can't cut that out of our game, I mean, teams like Liverpool, teams like Arsenal, teams like Tottenham and Everton, those teams that we should be beating, they're going to take it to us. And they're going to get those goals. They're going to pack it in with better defenses, with much more talent than Leicester has. Leicester, they're a good team. They're a good team, but individually, we're better. We have better talent on the field than Leicester does. When we go up against teams that are probably going to be Europa League sides this year, they're going to be picking up points against us if we don't cut those mistakes out and stop giving up goals, stop gifting them goals. It's got to stop. And Cahill, I don't know if he just needs to be benched. I don't know if he needs to be fined. I don't know what needs to happen with him, but he's got to be punished somehow. Because this is 3 games in a row that he's been just awful and giving away goals. Pretty much. So, yeah, disappointing, but at the same time, we got the win. We got 4-2 win just in overtime. We're through to the next round. Still have a chance at winning this. So take the good with the bad, I guess. It's really hard to say at times. But anyway, those are my thoughts on this game. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. What did you like and not like? What did you prefer to see changed for the next game as far as the... well, obviously, the lineup's going to change in the Premier League, but what would you prefer to see changed for the next round of the League Cup, English Football League Cup? What is it called now? It's like the EFL Cup? I don't even know. Like last year it was the Capital One Cup, now all of a sudden they changed the name. Why? Why did they do this to me? That's a different rant. So let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Leave a like and subscribe for future Chelsea reviews. I'll see you at the next game. Peace out.